Inflation is a growing concern for many retirees, and it's something you need to actively plan for when putting together your retirement budget. With the cost of goods and services rising, it can feel like your savings won't stretch as far as they used to. But here's the good news. You can take steps today to safeguard your financial future, even with inflation in the mix. In this video, I'll show you how to plan for inflation in your retirement budget and give you some actionable strategies to protect your wealth. Now, before we dive into the details, I want to quickly mention that if you're serious about protecting your wealth in the next 2 weeks, be sure to click the first link in the description for a free guide on why thousands of Americans are opening gold IRAs to secure their savings. This guide could be a game changer for your financial security. So, let's talk inflation. One of the first things you should do is adjust your expectations. Many retirees think that their retirement income will remain stable, but inflation can slowly eat away at its purchasing power. A dollar today won't buy you the same amount tomorrow. That's why it's so important to account for inflation when creating your budget. The last thing you want is to find yourself running out of money sooner than expected because you didn't factor in rising costs. A smart move is to estimate how much inflation will impact your expenses over time. Typically, inflation hovers around 2 to 3% per year, but it can spike higher during certain periods, as we've seen recently. Over time, this means your food, gas, healthcare, and other daily expenses will become more expensive. A good rule of thumb is to plan for at least a 3% annual increase in your budget, but depending on your personal situation and where you live, it could be more. Now here's where it gets interesting. Not all of your assets will be impacted by inflation in the same way. Cash, savings, and fixed income investments like bonds are particularly vulnerable because their value erodes with inflation. But there's a way to fight back against this, and that's where gold IRAs come into play. While traditional investments may lose value over time, precious metals like gold tend to hold or even increase in value when inflation rises. That's why more and more retirees are turning to gold IRAs to protect their wealth. When planning for inflation, it's crucial to diversify your portfolio. A well-rounded strategy could include a mix of stocks, bonds, and real estate, but don't overlook the potential of precious metals. Gold IRAs allow you to invest in gold while enjoying tax advantages, making it an excellent hedge against inflation. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're serious about protecting your wealth, be sure to check out the free guide in the description. Another key element in your budget is healthcare. With medical costs on the rise, it's vital to plan for higher healthcare expenses as you age. Consider setting aside extra funds for insurance premiums, out-of-pocket costs, and prescriptions. These costs can increase faster than general inflation, so you need to plan for them specifically. Again, a gold IRA can help here as well, as it allows you to preserve and grow your wealth for these kinds of expenses. Finally, let's talk about how to handle your retirement income. Social Security is helpful, but it's unlikely to cover all of your expenses, especially if inflation continues to rise. That's why you need to have a solid strategy in place to ensure your retirement income is enough to cover the costs of living now and in the future. Diversify your income sources, consider annuities, or even rental properties for passive income. But remember, gold IRAs should always be part of your strategy, especially when it comes to protecting your wealth from the impacts of inflation. So, if you're looking for ways to secure your financial future and protect your wealth from inflation, I highly recommend considering a gold IRA. It's perfect for American retirees with 100K or more in their IRA or 401K, or even those with $5 million or more in savings. It's an opportunity to safeguard your wealth and make sure you don't outlive your money. Again, if you're serious about taking action today, be sure to click the first link in the description to get your free gold IRA guide. Thousands of Americans are already making this move, and it could be the best decision you ever make for your retirement. Thanks for watching, and make sure to plan wisely for your future. Inflation isn't going away, but with the right strategies in place, you can make sure it doesn't derail your retirement.